My name is Laura. I'm with Home Freedom Properties, and I am doing something that I am completely new at, which is using Cam Studio and Skype to record a video kind of chat or interview that I'm doing with some homeowners that I worked with last year. Well, from the end of 2012 through a few weeks ago, it's February of 2013, we just got their house closed for them and got everything over and done with, and I think they're pretty happy about it. And I have actually never had the opportunity to meet them face to face. Their names are Jonathan and Brenda, and they live in California. I'm here in Austin, Texas. And so I said, well, let's try to do this online and see if we can get this done remotely, because who knows when you'll be in Texas again. So I just basically wanted to take a few minutes with them and ask them how they felt about everything from before we started working together, what their experience was with the house and getting something done with it, to during, kind of the during process and how everything turned out, and then after, and as in how do they feel now that it's done and they don't have to worry about the payments. They did get a little bit behind because they couldn't really afford to make double payments because of the other home that they have there in California. So just wanted to get a feel from them on how everything went, and hopefully someday we'll get to meet each other. If you ever come to Texas, just let me know. We'll be able to meet, get together for some lunch or something.
Okay. Well, I think when we bought the house, we bought it a year before we left, came out to California, not realizing that we were going to make a move back to California. And so that was a little nerve-wracking of only living in the house for a year and then realizing, oh, now we have a job going back to California. What do we do? And so what we decided to do at the time was we figured we didn't have really enough time to kind of turn around and sell it. And so we got a management company, and they got us some temps in the house. And that was a little nerve-wracking as we made the transition back, and was that going to happen or not going to happen? And thankfully, within about a month's time, they got some tenants. And in the beginning, we were making a little bit of money off of it, but about halfway through, our taxes were adjusted, and all of a sudden, we were now paying out of pocket, which wasn't too much, but it's just one of those things that you were hoping to still make a little bit of money off.
Break even.
Yeah, at least break even. So, then last summer, we were contacted by our management company that said that our tenants were actually going to be moving out, and so we were needing to get new tenants. So we went ahead and thought, okay, it's still early enough. And our company kept saying, oh, you know what, there's enough time, it's the summer, and it just ticked by, and the nervousness just rose, and I kept kind of pestering him about, well, what's happening next, what's going on, and I think it was towards the end of August we realized, you know what, school is starting up over in Austin, families aren't looking to move anymore, and we're going to have an empty house sitting on us. So I also knew that it was, we just couldn't afford to continue to pay on our payment without some sort of other revenue coming in. And so that's sort of when we got to the point where we realized we have to do something else. And that's when we contacted you guys. We Googled and looked up options on the internet, and we discovered you guys and began that conversation. So do you want to take it from there? I don't want to talk about that.
No, well, and yeah, we had already, after our renters moved out, we had started carrying the mortgage for a couple of months, and two, we couldn't do that forever. We kind of had this timeline where we kind of get things moving, or we would not be able to pay anymore. So it was kind of a nervousness of getting things done, I guess. So, yeah.
So we discovered your company, and you'd gone through the options with us. You were very thorough with us, really outlining everything. You answered all of our questions. It was great. You were just very patient with us. I mean, there was a sense at first, and in all honesty, it's one of those things where you're just sort of like, okay, this is a fly-by-night operation. Is it an operation that's above board? And is it all legal and those kinds of things? You want to make sure that we're being ethical about everything. So, we felt very good about the organization and the company because of the fact that we're very cool with us. You went over everything with us. You answered all our questions. You kept in contact with us. The communication was great. And we felt very good about working with you guys and everything that happened. So again, you answered all our questions. And you just really helped us through everything. So we were really thankful for all that. And even though, there were times, and Laura will tell us there was touch and go times where it just seemed like, does anybody even want to buy this house? And finally, it worked out kind of a thing. And even with some of the give and take, at the end of it all, and all said and done, I feel really good about it.
Yeah.
I think everything worked out well. You guys were so gracious on your side. We can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you.
It's a tremendous blessing that you guys were to us and through everything. So,
well, and it's a huge relief to know now that we're not carrying that payment anymore. So it's like a financial burden listed in that sense. So that's really good for our family, that. So.
And that has a rippling effect. That when you have financial burden, that can cause some tension and amongst the family and those sort of things. And so I think a lot of people readily understand those kinds of things, even when they get married and get in relationships, how those things go. And so, I always talk through things, and we, these kinds of moments, and I know this is sort of a separate thing, but these kinds of moments are really, I think, strengthening for marriages and for families, because if we can get through things like this, then it's like, okay, there are other challenges that I'm doing and manage. So, and we've dealt with a lot of challenges in our life, and so this was just sort of another challenge in our life that, in the end, we have a stronger marriage for it, and have a good family unit and bonding relationship through it all. So,
I would say one thing too that was helpful, I think, is we looked at short sale. We didn't want to do foreclosure, and we were trying to avoid that. But the reality was we were getting behind in payment. And so, the deeper you got behind, the less likely we were going to be able to pull out of it. The amount just kept rising of what we owed. And so I think too, with short sale, there was so much paperwork, just so much involved, even to just get the process started. It was so overwhelming. I mean, we were just kind of like, as a last resort, we were hoping and praying that this option would work and the house would sell this way for the financing, having to go that route. So again, that was just a blessing to us to not have to go through all of that. So again, Laura, to you, even during the process of actually the home selling and working through all that paperwork and getting things notarized, being in a different state and all of that, was helpful. Again, like John said, the communication process. Not being able to see you face to face in that sense, for having questions, and we did so much texting and emailing and clarifications and all that kind of stuff. And at least today's age, we're able to communicate. I think that's what made the process work so smoothly, was being able to tell you, probably calling you more than you wanted us to, but being able to just get a question answered via text. I mean, that was so helpful. We didn't have to wait, days for a phone call or whatever. It was just instantaneous answers. Yeah. So that was really helpful.
Yeah, the fact that too, that the time difference, and you were so about that. There were times I felt really bad. It's like, it's like 10 o'clock overnight, and I'm sure Laura's probably tired and wants to go to bed.
Yeah.
That was extremely helpful. I do want to say this: if your boss is listening, that you deserve a really good raise. So I hope
thank you.
He is going to give you a raise. So, but it was really peace of mind. There was just great peace of mind through it all, and just during that time when we were working with you and your organization and everything that you guys were doing, we really had a peace of mind through that process, and we didn't really worry a lot at all. That was just we just sort of said, okay, you know what, we're at kind of a thing, and dealing with their process in short sale, and that I just said, well, we'll see where it goes, kind of a thing, where God's going to take it all. So,
Yeah.
and it's sort of like the ninth hour, it really pulled through and all about. So it was a good. But the way the structure is and the way that things have been going with the foreclosure kind of allowed them to do that. And so when we were faced with that, you know, the thing that we really struggled to do is we wanted to be ethical about it. We didn't want to do something that we felt was being unethical about those kinds of things. We didn't want to contribute to the larger problem that's already out there in the United States in regards to foreclosures and those kinds of things. And so your company and what you guys did really allowed us a chance to feel like we were doing something that was being ethical and above board and all that kind of stuff. So that in of itself too is also another peace of mind for us, kind of a moral peace of mind. So.
That's great. I'm really glad that we were able to get this done for you guys. I knew that the house would sell. Almost all of our houses sell very quickly, usually almost always in 90 days or less, in 3 months or less. And we were pretty close to that, but the challenge is that we were doing it in like the worst time of the year to sell, from basically like right when summer was ending to the holidays, basically from early September or end of August to basically through the holidays. And as soon as the new year came around, our phone was blowing up with you know, realtors with buyers and people interested, and they just had to get those dang holidays out of the way. So but I'm very glad that we were able to get it done. So I want you to continue to feel that peace of mind that you felt, being that you're all the way, you know, on the other end of the United States in California. You know, just live your lives, you know, relax. Don't spend your money on mortgage payments. You don't have to do that. And I'll be here for you guys if you need anything. So.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you for taking the time. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye.